Ladies and gentlemen, world famous Ajele. Abi? He's AJ. His name is Ajele. AJ. All right. So, basically, this is the moment for questions about events, weddings, birthdays, corporate, anything questions surrounding events. This is that time that you can ask. You're asking the first question. And the first person that will answer your question is Ajele. I will just cap it up. Yes, I will
Well,
just top it
it's
up.
it's both of you, but anyway, praise the Lord.
Who be this one?
Okay, hi everyone. Good afternoon again. So I have like 5 questions. I had 5 questions, but I've eliminated some of them in the course
Thank
of.
God.
No. We've had like 3, 4 sessions now. Come on. Okay, so my first question is: how do you deal with or address a co-host who is trying to upstage you? When I say upstage, the person is trying to outshine you. And I mean, this is not something that is in your head. When the first time it happened to me, I was a bit irritated. And then I was just talking to Phage, actually. I was like, this guy, like, do you know this guy? Have you worked with him before? And then he's like, oh, he had a similar experience with this particular MC. So in my head, that MC is blacklisted. But unfortunately, I had the displeasure of working with him again this year. So how do you handle? Okay, thanks. Tolu, you guys are interrupting the flow. So how do you handle MCs who try to outshine you, whether during the briefing or in the, okay, maybe you've agreed to dress a certain way, and then this guy comes in blinged out agbada when you're all agreed to be demure. So there's that. The second question is, what do you do after the client has approved your invoice and factored it in the budget already, then the event planner is trying to step it down? So you have a direct access to the client. But because they're working with an event planner, that's the person who's going to pay you, and that one feels you're not worth that amount that you've already agreed with the client. Now, the third question, it might be a bit off for everyone, but how do I make the switch from corporate hosting to wedding hosting? Yeah. No, I'm asking specifically because I don't think I'm a funny person and I don't have a hype voice. I have energy, right? But I don't think I have the hype voice and I don't have that general sense of humor. Dark humor, maybe, but not the general sense of humor. So, how do I do that? Thank you.
Because you started with praise the Lord, I will also start with praise the Lord. I'm sorry, I may not be able to speak loud. You manage my voice for now. So, Damala, which one should I take? 1, 2, okay, take one. How do you cope with co-MC that tries to outshine you? First of all, you have to be sure of what you have. You have to build up your own confidence, right? I'm going to speak with you. I'm going to talk to you about my own personal experience. I have this confidence that pair me with basket mouth, pair me with anybody. What's the name of this short superstar in America? This coming. Pair me with Kevin Hart. Trust me, I will shine. No matter how you try, pair me with Alibaba. I will do my part. And secondly, you need to have love your own heart as well. Because aside the confidence that you have to approach the person with love as well. That no matter what they do to you, to not get to that part of your heart that will want to make you to react to them. Right? And thirdly, be different. What did I just say? Be different. Everything that I do in my life, for example, today, everybody looking all pink. What am I wearing? It's because I just like to be different. I know most of the speakers that will come here will wear suits. What am I wearing? No cap, right? Um, be different. You know that what your co-MC will probably do is to, for example, imagine that they pair me with TA. Obviously, TA speaks better than me. TA dresses more than me. Is more handsome than me. Is more experienced than me. Yeah. The one that tries to outshine you. Most times you don't agree now.
Let's even say we've agreed. Thank you. Let's assume we've agreed on that. And then we get there, and rather than it being a conversation, this person hugs all the time. So, for like 3, 4 introductions where we go up on stage together, you end up not saying a word because this person just wants to run through the entire time.
See, can I tell you, you are speaking from the way you feel as a woman. Ask most male MCs here, we don't really care. We just want to deliver because we have other events to handle tomorrow. Do you understand? I worked with Edo Pikin some months back, and he was already handling one of the best microphones. And when I got there, he didn't want to release the microphone. But I waited for the moment where I know that I will shine. I waited for the moment where the couple will be coming in and I start to hype. I waited for the moment where I could throw 1 or 2 jokes, and I did that. So sometimes it's better for you to wait and just let that day go. You will not always work with colleagues every time. Do you understand? So that should not be a problem for you. I work with Amola what day at a hotel, right? You crack your jokes, I crack my jokes. So you have to ask yourself as a woman, this question you're asking, is it from your personal feeling towards what the person is doing, or is just the way events with colleagues should be? Or do you have a personal experience that you want to share with us as a story?
The truth is, the reality is that in all those type of situations, even as a man, there are some female MCs that you will work with. That if you are not careful, you will not say anything. I've been here for a while, so I know what I'm saying. So you need, and there are sometimes they will pair you up with a senior colleague as a man. What you need, is that small window, that small space that you will speak and throw your best. People will notice. There is no how. They will notice that, then at the end of the event, somebody will now say, I was enjoying you, but did not allow you speak. But the truth is that you have made your impact and it was visible. So just look for that space, that lacuna, that moment. Just look for that moment. It can be how you introduce the next speaker. It can be even, it is time for breakfast, it is time for dinner. It can be, I want to hand you over to the band. You will introduce the band as if the band is the reason why people came for the party. You understand? And people will notice. But you will not always work with that person. Just make sure that moment you seize it well.
You can't always work with a co-MC, so it's just a moment. You let that go. Other ones will come. Did I answer that? Because she's a lady, so I have to attend to that her feel. What do you do when sir? What do you do when you already had an agreement with a client and the planner tries to? That one is very easy now. You've charged a client. You stand on it now. You stand on business. Maybe sometimes, maybe the planner wants to make you see reasons why you should change your mind, but that would be your own power to change your mind or not. But stand. Because if a planner can convince you to change what you already charged the client without you standing your ground or without you making her know the reason you change it, she will always come back for more discount. So you should always stand on your ground. It's important. I think that's the best thing for you to do. Stand your ground. Or else planners are like anxiety. They are there to protect your mind that something is coming. But if it's too much, it will destroy you. Right? Because growing up as a young MC, you need planners here and there. But when you begin to grow, most clients will come to you directly. Most planners can't look up to TA's face and tell him what to do because he's a father. Just like me too. I knew when most of these planners started up. So it would be hard for some of them to tell me, Ajele, how you charge clients 1.5 million naira, and you know you do it for me for 1 million naira. But it is not you now, it's the client. So I think it's the best thing for you to do is for you to stand your ground. All right. For the sake of your brand. My sister, I go hard though. um, Damola, you should.
Okay, if you want to switch to being a wedding MC, there are certain ingredients that are required. Do you understand? And what some of those ingredients are the things that you said you can't do. You have to be intentional about learning them. Weddings is different from corporate. In weddings, there are so many things that you have to put at the back of your mind. They seem simple, but the truth is that you have to manage people and situations much more than a corporate event. In a corporate event, it is very controlled. There's an agency. Everybody has sense. There's no problem with food. There's no problem with, you did not mention the father of the bride and the mother of the groom. Fog light. There is no problem with all that. The major challenges that you have in corporate events, the major events you have, the major problems you have in weddings are not the same you have in corporate events, right? So you need to learn. When the couple is dancing, and you need to learn to start saying, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the most beautiful couple. And you need to do all that energy. After the opening prayer, you call chairman. After chairman, you must look for something to use to play with people. It can't just be rigid. You understand? You have to play with people small. You have to learn how to play games. You have to learn how to interact with audiences. You have to learn how to hype people. You have to learn how to. So you need to be intentional. You have to follow a wedding MC out like 3 times to understand. You have to intern like 3 times to see the dynamics. And God help you. You now do all those type of weddings. There are different types. There are those weddings that is just everything is inside this small room. Very well put together. There are some weddings that is larger than this, but still well put together. There's a planner that is in charge of, there's a coordinator in charge of every vendor. And there are some weddings that are Okposhuke. You will just see Gele, pink. The mother of the girl is a trader at Idumota, and she has money. The father of the guy is a former senator. He has money. Then there are a lot of people with ask me tag like this, ask me. Oh, you see all those ask me. They are there. Minus the planner. And then rice is flowing from there to here and everything is. And then, ladies and gentlemen, please can I have your... You will wound yourself. So, I'm not discouraging you. I'm just trying to toughen you so that... So in those type of weddings, that it is just a carnival. Don't disturb yourself with trying to impress anybody. Just make sure that they cut the cake. They have this most important moment. They did not notice that you did not do much. Because even when you are saying, all right, let us play game. Where we Sonia Adefe play. Double up. And when they want to spray us, God deny help you, it is Wasiu that is the band. Yeah, it is well with you. Do you understand? So you can't do much. So the best thing to do in those type of situations is to enter different character. Do you understand? Which you have to learn on the job. Do you understand? Because different events with different planners and different venues and different bands, and so you need to understand the dynamics. That's why I said in the beginning of my speech, understand your audience.
Madam and Redam, Let me add to this. You heard when Uncle Tia said he's in a phase where he just wants to anchor weddings because he loves to anchor it, even if you don't pay him. You have to love this job, right? The same way you loved corporate events before you got into it. Okay, maybe you didn't, but now the question is, how do you come into wedding industry? You have to love it. You have to love it. Even if they don't pay you, offer yourself as a living sacrifice. You understand? You understand? You have to love it. Very, very important. All right?
Yeah, so is it possible, before I just jump into weddings, are there other kinds of events that can prepare me for the wedding scene?
Shower, do shower, do shower. Let's see, you must be able to handle people before you can do. Can you handle insult? Oh, you are saying you are not ready.
Okay,
Oh, and Sherry
Damola,
as MC. You want to do a MC? You are welcome. It's English. I told you to be high. You think I was joking?
Damola Ajele, thank you for what you've shared so far. But so for compares, for many young compares, whether young in age or young in the industry, or even old compares, you are just young in the amount of traction that you've gotten. We have heard over time, does your family members and your immediate community know that you are an MC? That is the way to break out post, post, and post. However, how do you now break out where you have gotten to the point where you've posted and posted? Everybody on your status knows you are an MC. Everybody that is following you knows you are an MC. In fact, many believe that you have an event 3 times a week. However, you probably have not done more than 3 or 2 events in a year. And those events were basically somebody saying, come and help me quickly. How do you break out from that ceiling?
How about an God? Should I answer that? Okay. It's very simple now. Prophecy, where you did? Prophecy. Prophecy. Prophecy is an example. Prophecy as 3 years ago, 2 years ago, he was just doing random children game. Today now, he's competing with. And you see, he's not just doing it in his department though, as game master. He's now competing with big names. I don't want to mention names. Do you understand? And that is because he kept on doing what he loves to do. Then, secondly, is that if you look at Damola, don't lie to yourself. If you look at Damola very well, you could tell that Damola is not just a good comedian. Damola is like all in one. Look at all the big names. Look at TA. At the time, TA was the biggest in Nigeria, not just as an MC, but even as a comedian. Look at all the big names you are seeing around. See, these guys are very, very good. I don't even want to mention myself right now. Who am I? So meaning that you have to be different. See, there's no joke here. This is work. This is, I don't want to call it, see, if I use the word war, it will look like it's not it's as if we are here to compete. But you must be intentional. You must be ready for this. This is your life. And then lastly, planners and those in charge of events, if they don't see you, they don't know you. I mean, they don't trust people easily. They only work with people they trust. You think they are not seeing pencil, you think they are not seeing a cappella. They are seeing funny bone. They are seeing akboro. They are seeing comedians that are more popular than me, that sometimes can even do better than me. But they know them, they go to their comedy shows. But they trust me because they know me. They'll rather listen to my recommendation than to go for the ones that are popular or the ones that are popular. Meaning that you can't take out the role of mentorship in this business. I know MCs that I've introduced into the industry that they are not even as good as the popular guys. So the question is, who are you working with? That is just what I can share.
All right, let me add to what he said. Mentorship is a very important factor. I am a product of mentorship. You know, my own mentor is Sako. Oh, yes. And I learned a lot from him. I made sure that I studied him. I tried to understand him. And I tried to learn a lot from his wealth of experience. And till tomorrow, as I speak with you, he's still my yoga. If I want to take major steps, sir, Larry J has to be on this panel so
Yes,
you can
please.
answer questions. So, basically, mentorship is very important. You understand? And every event, every opportunity, you have to do your job. Go correct and do it very well. Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
See, I kill event. Ask, they know. You must want to invite me next time. So any small event you do, see, do it as if you will not have another one next week. They will look for you. You must be different. Go on, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, sirs. My name is Abiodun Samuel. Sam microphone. Samuel with the microphone, remember? All right, so I have just a few questions. I was going to mention something as regards mentorship. One thing I've known over the years is what it will naturally take you 10, 20 years to achieve. With mentorship, you can achieve in 2 years. Right now, I also want to believe that we have people here that are starting or aspiring to be compares. Now, if I am to be your mentee, what would you? Okay, let me start with rate card. For a new person who is learning under you directly, how much do you think this person can charge for an event? That's the first question. Second question, all right, you've been doing this wedding thing for a while now. You've been getting 150, 200. At what point should you want to go to the next level? And lastly, I would like to ask three of you. You know, it is not, it is, I think it's now even beyond you posting and posting like Dimeji speaks. Did I get it? Detunji speaks. No vex. Now, it is beyond posting and posting. What actually brought you to limelight? What's like, if was it an event? Was it, what exactly made people know you for you?
Fortunately, I can answer that question on behalf of me. I've always been going viral. Aside the fact that my video goes viral sometimes, I have been an MC all my life. All right. Uh, wow, they record, sha. Okay, I was a Kai officer and I met a friend, a colleague that introduced me to Sheila, Emeka Smith. From Emeka Smith, I met AY, JD, and all that. But then, I started going for comedy competition. Fitch, the year now. I started going for comedy competition. And I was coming fourth, third. Stylo, you remember now? AY, open mic. This guy now, OG. Yeah, he was part of us then. I was coming fourth, second sometimes. And at the time that I thought that, this time is my time, who else wants to compete with me? A cappella came from nowhere and they won me. And that was when I told myself that no matter how funny you are, there are people that are funnier than you. Then the likes of Akboro came up, Kenny Black, and I knew that I could not compete with these guys. Destocker and I knew that I could not compete with these guys. So many years ago, I decided that no, this MCU, this is what I want to do. So there is no how that no matter how good the guys around me were, no matter what, my time will come. All of you were here when Extreme was the biggest, the hottest. Larry, Grand Commander, Larry Foreman, Grand Commander, Sako, and all. See why Milele, These are men. You remember why I'm living now? So there's no how that my time will not come, right? So this is not a case of at what point did one particular event made me the best. No, I've been doing this 18 years. Yes, I've been doing this 18 years. So you also asked that if you have a mentee and how much do you think you should charge? Is that the question? Uh, that is, I can't even answer that because I'm mentoring you not because you want to make money. I'm mentoring you for you to know what to learn in the industry. So it's left to you to know what you want to charge. At the time I was mentoring MC Bless, oh boy, they charge past me. Because in his mind, he's bigger in his own mind. When me, I was charging 600,000 naira, he charged one client 900 and they paid him. So it's left to you how big your mind is and how good you are. And at what point do you think you should change your rate? My brother, you will know. Before my show in 2022, I decided that in my mind, though, after my show, if you don't have 600,000, don't call me in 2022. If you don't have 600,000, I don't have it. That 600 is the least I will do. Immediately after my show, bro, I moved from that mind of 400,000 to 1 million naira. So meaning that because if you Google my name now, you have what to read about me. If you go on YouTube, you have what to see about me. If you ask people around you, ask anybody question, before they mention 2-3 MCs, they will mention my name. Do you understand? So you will know. The direct question is, you will know. I'm only trying to explain to you. When it's time for you to change your rate, you will know. That your eyes didn't know that his journey will be this fast. You heard him mention $6,000. I knew about the job. So remember that you will know. I think that's my time. Thank you.
All right. You were asking how we came into limelight. How? Well, I don't know how and when, and I don't even know how line the light is. But the most important thing is that I just do my job, and I'm happy doing it, and I try to deliver all the time. As touching pricing, as he said, your mind will tell you. Larry.
Okay, that's the only question I'm supposed to answer. So now that the two of you have answered the question, what am I answering? Appearance. Okay, so in case you have any question, please let me. Important questions. But I feel like there are some questions you guys are supposed to ask, but I've not heard anybody. Maybe at the time I stepped out, maybe someone did ask. I don't know about that. Because sometimes some of us consider ourselves as mentees to some mentors, and you are literally you are stressing the person out. You are not being a mentee. Mentees are meant to ask questions. Mentees are meant to observe things. And mentees are meant to know what not to do. Do you understand? I can't be doing something and it's wrong, and you are following me. You're following you see that what I'm doing is wrong. And I told you, like, I just tell you straight up, like, that thing I just don't make sense. And you as a mentee, instead of you to take it as correction, you go ahead, you make the same mistake. You see that your head is not correct in one side. Do you understand? And my other thing is, don't be someone's mentee and put your whole burden of life on that person. It's not your responsibility. He's not your God. He's not your parent. He doesn't owe you anything. The few reasons why I choose the people hey, Larry, may I follow you go event? Thank you for the offer. Do you understand? Like, don't worry. Because at the end of the day, I'm thinking in my head, like, how would you get home when you come? What would I tell them? Do you understand? All of that is going on. Oh, maybe my intention is to leave early and then eventually I leave late. How would you get home? Are you home yet? All of that mental stress. I don't want to be stressed. So come as independent as possible. Ask questions. Ask questions. Like, okay, if you find yourself, there are people I call. I've been in situations where I had to call people. I've called Lepashos Bose, I've called Alibaba, I've called TA. I've called quite a number of people at events when I got stuck. These guys are my mentors, though. It's not like I've done events that instead of them doing the job, it's me that went to do the job. But I still consider, for example, practical example. we all consider, most of us here, we consider ourselves as wedding MCs. Trust me, you have not seen work. If you see work, you will run. Allah. Some of these two guys, they know what I'm talking about. In a situation where you are the MC of the event, I'm putting you in a very practical scenario. You are the MC of the event. There's a king, there's a governor, there's an Oba, there is one local government chairman, there are ministers, House of Rep people are there, Senate presidents. What do you say? And they say, oh, acknowledge their presence. Do you know there are protocols to these things? There are some people you are meant to call first. There are some people you are meant to call next. There are some people you are not. Don't bother calling all of them. Just put them together and call once. Do you understand? You just put them in a particular bank and just address them once. So at that point, some of us here will feel like that is you'll be surprised. The fact that you are even calling yourself a wedding MC, I feel like you are limiting yourself. There are some kind of event that you cannot define, literally. You can't define it. You cannot define it. There are some kind of event. It does not fall under the category. Okay, let's say they are having a very huge conference meeting. You can't call it a conference because you're not part of the board. And then you're supposed to like anchor the event. Would you call yourself an Alaga because you have a Delta wedding? You know Delta people, they don't use Alaga people. I'm sure that, yeah, they don't use Alaga. They use an MC. They use a proper MC. But you call yourself a wedding MC, you don't even know what that looks like. I can't count the amount of Delta wedding I've done, the amount of Warri wedding I've done. But I'm a Yoruba boy. Do you understand? So why are we cutting ourselves and shooting ourselves on the foot? Because we stereotype ourselves to be wedding MCs. So with these few points of...
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been hours of conversations. It's been hours of discussing. It's been hours of sharing our thoughts. The most important thing about building a great brand is the delivery attached to you. People will always remember that experience, and that is where your brand lies. For mentorship, if you want to be mentored by somebody, just walk up to the person and humbly pass your message. The person may be willing to assist by,
Don't frustrate
or the person can refer you. And finally,
Don't
you like
frustrate.
it or not, you need God. God is a major factor. The God factor is a major factor in this our job. And I believe that if we apply everything that we have learned so far, we are going to achieve great success. Did you learn something today? Was it worth your time? Thank you very much.